Woo! All right, Justin. Here we are. We're back again. Another episode of the Celtics Talk Weekly podcast. I am your host, Robbie Hayte, and joined with me is my co-host, Justin Lowe. Guys, the Boston Celtics, they just finished another week of basketball, and we are back yet again talking some C's, guys. This is going to be a good episode. We got a little week recap from the games Boston just played. They had 4 games last week against the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Atlanta Hawks twice, and the Charlotte Hornets. Obviously, this is being recorded directly after the Atlanta Hawks game. The Celtics just lost 112-102 in that matchup. We got a lot more to talk about. Obviously, Jayson Tatum named Player of the Week, Eastern Conference Player of the Week, just a couple weeks from his return to play from that Achilles rupture. We're talking Joe Mazzulla and the Coach of the Year. We got a little fun segment here, some fan hot takes coming in from Instagram. If you're not following us over there, we're going to be doing a lot more fan interaction stuff on the podcast, so go check it out. Justin, we're back. A week of Celtics basketball under our belt here, back on the podcast. It's time, the Celtics. We had a relatively good week, 3-1. Your thoughts? What stands out the most to you? How are you feeling? I mean, do you want to start with that Oklahoma City game? I know the Atlanta game just finished, so it might be hard for us to get our minds off of that. But this was a good week of Celtics basketball.
It was a terrific week of Celtics basketball, right? The Celtics coming into this week facing the defending champions, Oklahoma City Thunder. This is a team that you went toe-to-toe with just a couple of weeks ago and lost by 2. And then you have a couple first-round opponent matchups here with Atlanta and Charlotte, 2 of the hottest teams in the Eastern Conference, and you were able to take care of business in 2 out of 3 of those games as well. So just a really outstanding week for the Celtics. You mentioned Jayson Tatum winning Player of the Week. We'll get into that. I think we should kind of go in from the Oklahoma City game and kind of work our way towards Monday's loss against the Hawks, and kind of go from there, because we've had some guys in and out of the lineup, some key guys in and out of the lineup all week long. But Celtics really didn't use any of that as excuses, and especially in that Oklahoma City Thunder game, the Celtics were as fully healthy as they could get outside of Vooch in the Oklahoma City Thunder. That was their healthiest game all season as well. So these are 2 title contenders, arguably 2 of the favorites to get in their respective conferences, to get out of their respective conferences. And they went toe-to-toe once again, right? The Celtics got punched in the mouth against Oklahoma in that first half. They come out in the second half and they ball and they take care of business. So I think we could definitely start there. That was one hell of a way to start off the week, Rob.
I mean, that Oklahoma City game, to me, was their best win of the year. They've had a couple recently, too. That Phoenix win a couple weeks back at the Garden was pretty nice. But this Oklahoma City game, Justin, it had a playoff type of feel. It had a finals atmosphere. The first half was a little shaky, but you said it the best. Boston was able to hold on. And it felt like a signature win, in which they needed. And it felt like that game, Justin, Boston sent a message to the league. Listen, we're going to stand toe-to-toe with just about anybody out there. And this is a Thunder team that is the best team in the league right now. They are the defending champions. They are the team to beat. And Boston handled them very, very well. 31 from Brown, 19 from Tatum. On the parquet, it was a signature win, and a signature win in which, in my opinion, they needed a statement win like that, right? Yes, this is a Celtics team that has had a lot of success, but again, you're bringing your star player back. You're getting ready for the playoffs. There's still some questions with this team, a lot of unproven talent. For me, Justin, that Thunder game, that was their signature win, and I loved everything I saw out of them in that game.
Yeah, it was super important. I think that game specifically kind of tells you exactly what the Celtics team is and what they've been all season long. It doesn't matter who's in. It doesn't matter who's out. It doesn't matter what the implications are. Celtics are going to come in. They're not going to let anybody punch them in the mouth. And and also talk about a big game. Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum combined for 50 points against the defending champions. Jayson Tatum sat out a couple of weeks ago in Oklahoma City, if we remember that. I believe Derek White did as well, if I remember correctly. So Celtics were shorthanded that first trip, only lost by 2. It came down to a Peyton Pritchard shot at the end that did not fall. And then fast forward a couple weeks later, and Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown are together, dropping 50 points against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the defending champions in the Garden. Felt like a finals atmosphere watching it on TV. Unfortunately, the Thunder ran out of national TV appearances. That's why that game was not on national TV, because that was definitely a must-see TV game. And I also want to just preface, we talk so much about Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, but Peyton Pritchard was hitting big shots in that game. Sam Hauser missed a couple of shots early on. Hauser got 5 wide open looks back to back in the first quarter. He hit some big shots in the second half. And then Baylor Shireman in the second half, 11 points, 8 of which in the second half to help alleviate the pressure and put Boston over the edge. So just getting guys to step up, Nemish Keita as well, getting guys to step up against championship level caliber opponents is what I'm really looking at, because the Celtics could have a phenomenal night from Baylor Shireman or Jordan Walsh or Peyton Pritchard against a team like the Washington Wizards or a team like the Indiana Pacers. But when it comes against a team you're most likely going to see in June, most likely a team that you're going to have to get through to win your 19th banner, it's super critical and it is super important. And these games are circled on the calendar for these guys. So not only was it the biggest win of the Celtics season, but I also think it was the most important win of the Celtics season. Absolutely. You look up and down the roster. Last week I mentioned it. We're getting production from our two-way players. When you can get production like that in a game like that, on the level like that, that's really important for your team moving forward, especially just weeks away from the playoffs.
Yeah, and not only is it a message to the league, but it's also reassurance for these players.
Yeah.
And I don't think this locker room doubts themselves at all, Justin. But to grab a win like that in the fashion you did, and to have, like you said, Brown and Tatum were amazing, but to get contributions, like you said, from your Shiremans, Hauser sticking in there after a terrible start. I mean, let's not sugarcoat it. Terrible Hauser start. Nimi was great. I mean, to get those contributions, Pritchard continues to be great. That's big time. I mean, it really is.
Yeah. I also think with that Oklahoma City Thunder game, coming into it fully healthy, when I look at Hartenstein and I look at Chet Holmgren, they're one of the best rebounding teams in the NBA, if not the best rebounding team in the NBA. I don't have the stats in front of me. And the Celtics out-rebounded them by 8, 43-35 in that game. That is huge. That right there, if you want to go up and down the stat sheet and the shot charts and all of that, that right there is where the Celtics won this game. They out-rebounded the Oklahoma City Thunder. Rob, this is a Celtics team that started out 0-3, 5-7 in their first 13. This is a team where Joe Mazzulla would go 5 out, 5 in if you weren't rebounding the basketball earlier in the season.
We talked about that last episode too.
So you kind of look back and at the rebounding, and now the Celtics are one of the better rebounding teams in the association, and they're known for their offensive rebounding, and they're winning games off their rebounding. So just kind of like a full circle moment that Oklahoma City Thunder game was, where everything was going right for the Celtics. And even when it wasn't, even when Oklahoma City came out and led by 13 in that first half, punched the Celtics in the mouth to open the game, Celtics did not let that happen in the second half. And I don't know what was said in the locker room at the half, Rob, but Celtics came out and they balled. Baylor Shireman put back dunks, sidestep threes. Are we kidding me, Baylor?
Yeah, I mean, it was a game of momentum for Boston.
Yeah,
you felt that, and that's what goes back to my earlier point, where it just felt like the Garden was up, the fans were up. It was SGA, it was Jalen Williams, it was Chet Holmgren, it was the defending champs, past 2 champions, right? 2024, 2025. It was on League Pass, right? What better opportunity to put the 2 defending champs on League Pass? It's a whole different conversation.
You know, it was electrifying. It's usually nowadays, a crowd pop is a big 3, but Nemi had the poster on Chet, Jaylen Brown had the poster on Jalen Williams. The Celtics were attacking the paint. The Celtics were driving and kicking and knocking down their threes. That was such a peak win for the Celtics. And I'm so glad that the Celtics were able to pull it out because sometimes you look back and you say like, "Oh, this is a classic." Sometimes the Celtics are on the other end of those classics as of late. Remember that double overtime game a few years ago against the Knicks, season opener,
Yeah.
double overtime. Celtics, that is like a classic opening night game. Celtics are on the
Mhm.
other end of that. So
Yeah.
also bouncing back from that Minnesota game, by the way, because that was one of the worst games of the season,
Mhm.
followed by one of the best, if not the best, win of the season.
It reminded me, and we're gonna talk more about the Celtics and Thunder matchup wise. Here's a little hint into when we get to the fan questions and takeaway.
Uh,
It's actually the fan hot takes, but I don't know if you remember, but in 2023-24, the year we won the championship, Boston early on in the season goes into Minnesota and gets punked by Ant and them on the road in overtime, right? Fast forward to March, or February? Might have been February.
February,
2024,
February.
February. Yes. The Celtics play a classic marquee matchup against the Timberwolves again. Tatum goes for 46. Holiday hits that corner three after the missed Jaylen Brown free throw. The ball gets swung around. And that game is kind of when I was like, okay, this team just had their first like gut check signature win, right? It was a
Uh,
championship DNA type of win. I get the similar vibes this year with this win against Oklahoma. Excuse me, where it wasn't always pretty, right? But it was against a really good team that you had lost to early on in the year, a team that you really don't have a great track record against. Defending champs, like it was a signature win. And we'll talk a little bit more about the matchup base, really fast forward if we see them in the finals. But let's hop into the Atlanta game. A Friday, March 27th, Boston 109, 102. No Brown, this one at the Garden. Tatum, Pritchard, absolutely unstoppable. 36 from Pritchard. Tatum finally got his rhythm going in that fourth quarter. 26, 12, and 5 for JT. Justin, again, that Hawks game. This is a Hawks team. We lost to them tonight. So this is a Hawks team that's legit. How did that Hawks game, the first one, how did that win rub you?
yeah, I mean, it rubbed me the right way because the Atlanta Hawks had won 15 of their previous 16. And I was at that game, by the way, and I was super excited to see Jayson Tatum back. That was my first time
That was your first
seeing
time seeing him
Tatum
back.
back.
Yes.
Yeah, and in person, he looks very fluid. He looks very much healthy. And yes, there's still some certain things that he's getting back into, but like we mentioned last week, he's coming back from an Achilles injury. Like it's not going to be all sunshine and rainbows. Even Tatum's admitted that there's going to be some rust, but um, Jason Tatum took over in that fourth quarter to really put the game away for the Celtics down the stretch. Peyton Pritchard, no Jaylen Brown, no problem. 36 points off the bench. uh, this is another slow start for the Celtics. We talk about the Celtics going down 13 early to the Thunder and coming back and responding. Celtics were down 25-9 in the first quarter against the Atlanta Hawks the other night. Ugo comes in, hits a three. There's some big defensive plays by Jordan Walsh being made, and the Celtics all of a sudden just trail by a couple of points at the end of the first quarter, and the Celtics took that momentum and they kind of rode with it. Trailed by 5 at the half, came out third quarter, played the right way, and the Celtics were able to cruise to a victory. And that's super, super important against the Atlanta Hawks because not only are they one of the hottest teams in the association right now, this is a potential first round matchup. We could be seeing these guys in a couple weeks come first round of the Eastern Conference semifinals, or quarterfinals rather. So it's always super important to get these wins against the red hot teams, but especially teams that you're going to see moving forward. The Charlottes, the Atlantas, the Miamis are coming up on the schedule. The Orlando Magic's coming up on the schedule. The New York Knicks. So teams you're likely to see coming down the stretch. It's always important to get a good win from them. I also, I got to look down at my notes here for the Celtics. No Jaylen, you just mentioned it. No Jaylen Brown for that game. So no Jaylen Brown for that game. Obviously, Jayson Tatum comes in and just balls, dude. Like he shot 8 of 24 from the field, little inefficient, but the efficiency came in that fourth quarter. He was able to stay poised. He cut himself to the free throw line. I love his attacking. His attacking has been spectacular this week, and we'll get into that when we talk about his Player of the Week award. He definitely each game from Jayson Tatum, he's looking more and more comfortable, and the Celtics are looking more and more comfortable alongside Jayson Tatum, which is crucially important.
Before we go into the Hornets, I have a question for you. You're going to a Celtics game. You're going into the Garden, maybe with friends, family, girlfriend, whoever you're with. Give me your go-to food?
I
Are
didn't
you
need
are you a guy
anything.
that gets food?
I didn't need anything. No, dude, I'm so locked in. Like I want the full experience. So I try to say, hey, when we get in, maybe like an hour before the game or whatever it is, I say, hey, let's get food before we go to our seats because I like 16 minutes
So
hits
are
the
you eating
clock.
pregame?
Yeah, if I eat pregame, like I can't eat during the game because I'm too locked in. I probably shouldn't say this for any opportunities moving forward, but I can't focus at games. Like Rob, I came home from work Saturday and I laid on the couch and I'm not kidding you. I watched the entire Celtics versus Hawks game, the game I was at. I, dude, I was too focused on
My
Buddy
dad
Hield
does that.
sitting in the crown eating French fries, and I was too focused on the shirts falling from the rafters and stuff you don't see on TV during the timeouts. Like I'm not invested on like picking they're Tatum's getting two picked on him and Garza's slipping back door. Like I'm not thinking about that stuff during the game when I'm at the game. But I didn't eat at all. I don't think during the game. I was too locked in, Rob.
Have you had the Sal's pizza, the jumbo slice?
Yeah. Yeah.
That is amazing. Like I am a sucker for,
Rough.
and because I've been to a lot of, so my family's season ticket holder, so we go to a lot of games, right? And we used to be like the exact same way, where it's like we never really ate because you go to so many games where it's like, I mean, honestly, it's expensive, right? Like it's expensive to eat at the Garden, if I'm being honest. But like we never used to eat, and then we started going, and then like the more and more you go, the more you're like, oh, okay, like no, we will get a slice, or a lot of the time we don't eat, but when we do, I'm sorry, I have to say it, that Sal slice, if you haven't gotten it at the TD Garden before, if you're listening or watching this, you need to try. And this isn't even a paid sponsorship. Like this is just because I love Sal slice so much. That Sal's pepperoni slice from TD Garden is genuinely so good. Like I don't know what they do, it is so good.
So you know what's odd is we get to the Garden on Friday, and you know how the Garden put those new kind of like they're almost like convenience stores
Like
inside
in the Garden.
yeah, like you can get
Yeah.
your beer there and you can get candy there and chips and
Yep.
all that. We got Sour Patch Kids, Funyuns, in a
This is
Down
at the game?
East at the game, and
Down East,
like
great choice.
Down East, yeah.
Phenomenal beer.
And then at halftime we got a burger, and it was just like I don't know, like that was the most awkward TD Garden food I think I've ever had. like, like it wasn't hot dogs, it wasn't a
Sour
Sal
Patch Kids,
slice,
Down
it
East, and
wasn't
some
Lucky
Funyuns.
Tenders, it was Sour Patch Kids, Funyuns, and a burger. No, dude, I'm
That's a
too
hell of a
invested.
combo.
I'm too invested to eat.
Yeah, I feel
And
that.
I am obsessed with the fries though. I love the fries.
Their fries
I think
are
I like
amazing.
the fries. I ate more of the fries than I did the burger. And if I get Lucky Tenders, I eat more of the fries than I do the
Fries,
tenders. The fries are good.
I know, Ralph. I'm a sucker for the jumbo hot dog too. This is a
Of
hot dog
course
at a
you are.
sporting event. I'm a sucker for the jumbo hot dog. You can ask anybody I've been to a game with.
Is it all beef?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
I'll look it up. This is
If
why
you
we
can find
need
that.
a
Celtics hot dog, is it all beef?
jumbo.
It's so good. I just like hot dogs. Like I know it's an unpopular take, but I'm a big fan of hot dogs.
Well, the problem is, are you a mustard on the hot dog guy or ketchup?
I'm a mustard and a relish guy.
Okay, good. Mustard, never ketchup.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate ketchup.
One of the first things in the search bar is the jumbo hot dogs at TD Garden real.
oh boy.
Beef. All right.
Is beef?
Yes, the jumbo hot dogs at TD Garden are KM all beef hot dogs. KM. Okay, so they have KM pork and beef, and then they have KM all beef. I like the all beef hot dogs. I like the all beef hot dogs.
I'm the same. I'm the same way. I'm a beef hot dog guy, but I guess let's hop into the Hornets game. This one was on the. I had to ask that because like going to the Garden. I'll preface this. If you have been to the Garden before, if you're lucky enough to get to go, it is such a fun experience. And honestly, it's been 6 years ago, or at this point, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, they've redone the place. I mean, it's much nicer now. I
Yeah,
mean, even the food
yeah.
quality, it's clearly nicer. But Justin, the Hornets game, Celtics Hornets. This was last night. This was Sunday. This is a 6 p.m. start. No Jaylen Brown again for the season. This matchup. But I'll tell you what, it was the Jayson Tatum show. 114-99, the final score, 32 points. It was a Jayson Tatum masterpiece. It was his official stamp back. Are you still reading about this hot dog?
No, I'm not. I'm just thinking about how screwed the league is. Jayson Tatum puts up 32 points in just his 11th game back. I mean, Rob, are we kidding me? In the efficiency, the 53-50 splits on that game. I mean, fans have got to be air punching the air. He wins Player of the Week. He drops 32 points in his third week back in the NBA. You've got to be kidding me. No way anybody could tell me Jayson Tatum, including myself, Jayson Tatum was going to be this good coming off an Achilles injury. At least this quick. The more he plays, the better he's getting and the better the Celtics are getting. And each game he plays, he's playing more minutes. We saw a 37-minute game against the Atlanta Hawks. He didn't have to play too many minutes. I think 31, 32 minutes in that Charlotte game because the Celtics had that game pretty locked in the late stages of the fourth quarter. Man, Jayson Tatum, something about Charlotte. Maybe give us Charlotte first round. Jayson Tatum loves playing in Charlotte. Why don't we give Charlotte home court advantage and we'll play in Charlotte for 7 games? Because Jayson Tatum, anytime he goes down there, he just balls. Didn't he have a 50-point game down there a couple years ago too?
He did. I think he's had a couple. I know he's had a couple 40s. I mean, he when he goes to Charlotte, it's funny because there's that clip of him going like, a Monday night game against Charlotte on League Pass, and then ever since that, he's just gone nuclear in Charlotte.
I know. It's ridiculous. But I mean, the league, are you kidding me? Like, how can you hate Jayson Tatum right now? It's so easy to just, I mean, where are all the people who were complaining about his inefficiency over these last 3 weeks? Where are the people who are saying Jayson Tatum rushed it back? Where are the people that saying Jayson Tatum's never going to be Jayson Tatum again? Where are those people? Because I haven't heard a single thing. I'm starting to see people praise Jayson Tatum for winning Player of the Week. They can't believe how real that this is. Don't switch up now. Celtics are what? He's played 11 games. Celtics are 9-2 when Tatum plays. They're 0-2 when Tatum doesn't play, by the way, since he's been back. Jayson Tatum's making an immediate impact for himself and for the Celtics team.
It was the first full 48-minute game that Tatum played this year where there wasn't a second of question. Because the Atlanta game, there were still these plays where it was so clear Tatum was uncomfortable. Like Tatum was driving and he looked uncomfortable. Tatum was dribbling and the ball slips, he looks uncomfortable, excuse me. That game against Charlotte, he looked like Jayson Tatum. I mean, like through and through, he looked polished. He looked confident. He got to his spots. He's the 4th player in NBA history with at least 30 points, 5 rebounds, and 8 or more assists with no turnovers, joining Brandon Ingram, LeBron James, and Steph Curry. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous that he's doing stuff like this. And you maybe asked, that's a cherry-picked nitpick stat. Sure, maybe that is. But I'll tell you what, like you said, Justin, to look this good just 11 games after coming back from a ruptured Achilles. This guy is nearly 300 days back from rupturing his full rupture in his Achilles. And he is been just nothing shy of great. I truly believe what we are watching is one of the greatest comeback stories in sports history, Justin. I believe it is going to be like that.
It has to be like that, right? I mean, ever.
And I'll tell you what, let's cover this Hawks game real quick so we can get right back into Jayson Tatum, because we do have a segment here on Jayson Tatum. So the Celtics and the Hawks.
Why kill the mood?
Should we just go right into it? Do we skip over this Hawks game?
Yeah, Celtics got their ass handed to them by the Hawks tonight.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown,
so okay with
like 12 turnovers tonight. Luka Garza, though, I mean, come on. Maybe we should touch on the Hawks game real quick because Luka Garza, Charles Bassey, and Amari Williams, are you kidding me, Rob? These centers, Luka, 20 points tonight. I don't think he missed a shot. I'm trying to look on the box score real quick. I don't think he missed a shot.
I can
Maybe he
tell you
missed
right
one.
now.
Did he? He played
Garza was 8 for 9. Yeah, it was a 3-pointer.
excellent. He played excellent tonight for the Celtics, and Peyton Pritchard hit some shots early. Sam
Only
Hauser
player-
could never get going. Derek White couldn't get going. Go ahead.
He was the only player tonight with a positive plus minus. Walsh was an even, but everyone else was negative. Garza was a plus 6.
Yeah,
I know
excellent.
that's a hot topic stat. Some people think it's stupid, but something.
I mean, it goes. I mean, it is impactful. Luka Garza was impactful tonight for the Celtics, and Atlanta pulled away in that fourth quarter. But I mean, if the Celtics were kind of running in mud a little bit in that third quarter, it was Luka Garza keeping the Celtics within striking distance until late in that fourth quarter for the Hawks. But credit to Luka Garza, credit to Amari Williams, just fresh off a two-way contract, got a standard deal, 7 rebounds tonight. Charles Bassey on his second 10-day contract, fighting for one of those final roster spots, a pair of blocks, a vicious pair of blocks as well, in a bucket. So credit for those guys for staying ready, stepping up. No Vucevic, no Kata, no Tatum. Celtics clearly thin in the front court, and those 3 guys stepped up tonight. I guess I should say Monday night for the Celtics in their loss.
Let's do it. Let's get right back into Tatum. I mean, that's summarized. I agree. That's summarized. You talked about Garza. You talked about the big men. Jaylen Brown was a rough, rare Jaylen Brown game, even though he hit her with a triple-double. Couldn't take care of the ball. Celtics were sloppy. Back to Jayson Tatum, please. Jayson Tatum, all right. He was awarded earlier today. Again, we're recording this on Monday after the Hawks game. So yesterday, if you're listening to this when it comes out, the Eastern Conference Player of the Week. In this week, the Celtics were 3-0 when Jayson Tatum played. He averaged 25.7 points, 9.6 rebounds, 6.7 assists, shooting 42.1% from the floor, 41.7% from 3. Justin, we've talked so much about Jayson Tatum and so much already about how how he's surpassed the expectations. But did you expect to see Jayson Tatum this good, this fast?
No. And I said it earlier, absolutely not. And if you're saying yes, you're
lying.
not overly optimistic, you're lying. Yeah. Honestly. No way somebody thought Jayson Tatum was going to be dropping a 26-point, nearly double-double, averaging nearly a 26-point double-double. No way. Also, he's turned into the team's best rebounder off an Achilles injury. He's also turning into the team's best playmaker as well. Ridiculous stuff from Jayson Tatum. He's excelling at everything.
Do we know when to put this into perspective, Kyrie Irving tore his ACL, if I believe, a month and a half before Jayson Tatum ruptured his Achilles, and Kyrie Irving is still sidelined. Tyrese Halliburton got injured just a month after Jayson Tatum and is still sidelined. Jayson Tatum 3 weeks ago took the floor after rupturing his Achilles and is now winning Eastern Conference Player of the Week, averaging 26, 10, and 7.
So I also think that goes to how you attack the rehab. I'm not so sure I know how Kyrie and Dame and Tyrese attack their rehab.
The surgery
was less than 24 hours after it happened. That's the key for Tatum.
Yeah, I think that's the difference here, is that I think this is going to sound weird, but him getting hurt in New York was the greatest gift that he could have gotten through the injury process.
In that situation, yes.
The fact that you get the world's best Achilles doctor on call right there 14 hours after injury, and he so happens to have an open slot at 3 p.m. the next day. And Justin, do you remember? So it was rumored he tore his Achilles, right? Everyone was speculating. The first 28 hours were a mess. And the official report wasn't Jayson Tatum has ruptured his Achilles. It's Jayson Tatum had undergone successful surgery to repair a ruptured Achilles. So the report came out after Tatum came out of surgery. That's how fast it was.
Yeah, right. And that process being so quick, and I do think it has to do with the guys around him in the doctors and the medical team, and Nick Sang has been terrific. And Jayson Tatum has bought in to the rehab. Jayson Tatum never once gave up. There were times where You see it in the documentary. There were times where he thought he'd never be able to play again. He's not being over dramatic. You go through those mental spurts in those types of situations. You never think you're going to play again. You think your whole life has just changed right before you. Your whole career has just changed right before you. Jayson Tatum did not let that affect him, and he was able to just attack the rehab. And that's why we're seeing him here in March, a month before the playoffs now, a couple of weeks before the playoffs, getting games under him, getting reps under him, running up and down the court. Conditioning is huge. The game slows down in the playoffs, yes, but it's high intensity. And for Jayson Tatum to come in and average 26 points, we're talking about specifically this week because that's the most relevant, right? That's the most recent. For him to average 26 points, nearly 10 rebounds and 7 assists, he's flirting with the triple-double average, and you beat the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are riding a 12-game win streak. You beat Charlotte, who the hottest team in the Eastern Conference, and then you beat Atlanta, who had won 14 of their previous 15 games. That's one hell of a week for Jayson Tatum, and that's one hell of a week for the Boston Celtics. And we talk about the individual success about Jayson Tatum, but we also have to mention the team's success with Jayson Tatum and how the team is starting to feel comfortable playing with Jayson Tatum. A lot of these guys hadn't played any minutes, and a lot of these guys like Baylor and Nemi and Jordan haven't played as much minutes with Jayson Tatum. Obviously, their roles were much less last year. So for Tatum to come in and for this team to adapt to Tatum so quickly and Tatum to adapt to the team so quickly and be so successful, that speaks volumes about who Jayson Tatum is as a player on and off the court.
He has impressed me in every way. I never doubted. I'd say it was 90% of me said I knew we were going to get Jayson Tatum back. I didn't know we were going to get Jayson Tatum back in March. And I'm not talking about him coming back to the floor. I
Mm.
I was on record this early this year saying he's ahead of schedule, right? Like that's the thing. Like about this recovery was he was ahead of every benchmark, and every time we saw his I could pull the clip up. I forget what show it was. Nothing about Tatum's. There's a tweet actually. I could pull up the tweet. Nothing about Jayson Tatum's rehab was normal. What made people think his return to play was going to be normal? Like that's what it was. Like he was dunking before he was supposed to be dunking. He was walking before he was supposed to be. I remember we saw a video back in July of him walking upstairs and people were like, wait a second, you just got out of surgery. And like stuff like that. Like he was always ahead of schedule. Why did anyone think this was going to be different? Like if you look back on it, you would think like, why are we even surprised? Like he was always ahead of schedule. I should pull up that tweet. And I'm sure you'll see there'll be some clip on Instagram with that tweet popped up. But I mean, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, I can't applaud him enough, and he's just been phenomenal. We have also on top of that, we have some crazy Joe antics this week, Justin, and I kind of want to talk about it.
Love Joe. I love
Because
Joe.
Joe Mazzulla was asked in an interview the other day about whether or not he thought he should win Coach of the Year. I got to say this without laughing. Joe Mazzulla responded on the Coach of the Year award in quotes, "I think it's a stupid award. You shouldn't have it. It's more about the players and the work the staff puts in. It's that simple. I really don't want to be asked or talked about it again." Is this not the most Joe Mazzulla quote you have ever heard in your life?
They're just words. They don't mean anything. They're just words. And there's zero pressure. There's no such thing as pressure for Joe to win this award. I mean, come on now. I think whether Joe Mazzulla likes the award or not, Joe Mazzulla is a clear-cut Eastern Conference Coach of the Year in my eyes. This is a team where not a single sports book had this team above 45 wins. The Celtics are at 50 wins with 8 games remaining. Now 7 games remaining. Excellent job by Joe Mazzulla. Joe Mazzulla, we talk about the 5 in and the 5 out, the defensive rebounding, the attention to detail. Amari Williams Monday night checks into the game against the Atlanta Hawks, and there's a couple plays where he's behind the 8 ball. Amari Williams, fresh off a two-way deal extension, they extended him to a standard deal just a few weeks ago. and then hasn't played in a while, checks in tonight in some actual run, and Joe Mazzulla's yelling at him. Joe Mazzulla's getting in his ear, hard coaching him. He wants Amari Williams to succeed. He's giving Amari Williams the same treatment he gives to Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Derek White, right? Like, there's no role too big for these guys on this team. I do think you also have to give Joe Mazzulla a lot of credit, because when it comes to building philosophies, being able to obviously the players buy into it, but you have to convince those players to buy into your system. You have to convince your players to buy into your playbook and your play style. And Joe Mazzulla has done that, right? We're talking about Joe Mazzulla. I don't think there's anybody in the Eastern Conference that really goes up against Joe Mazzulla for the coach of the year. You could say JB Bickerstaff maybe out in where is he?
Detroit.
Detroit.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Other than that,
here's my thing. Between Bickerstaff and Mazzulla, I think Detroit, and I'd have to go and check the sports books and in their win totals. And if I remember correctly, Detroit was tallied relatively high. I mean, this was a Detroit team that was red hot. Remember, I mean, they were the team post February last year. I mean, they finished the year like I think it was like 25-5. I mean, they were ridiculous.
Like the Hornets. Like they were like the Hornets of yeah.
So I'll tell you what, PSA, if you want to bet on a team next year to go over their win total, take Charlotte, because they're going to be really good next year. There's a trend here in the NBA. But for the Bickerstaff Mazzulla, I mean, the Celtics, this was a gap year. Like the gap year, right? Joe Mazzulla has a gap year team in second place. Like, do we really need to even argue anything else?
I know. No,
maybe
like
San
a lot
Antonio,
of
that coach. I forget his name.
Maybe in terms of the Eastern Conference, though, for sure, like Joe Mazzulla's the guy. Like he has to be.
Yeah,
I would like. I mean,
I agree.
Kenny Atkinson in Cleveland, nah.
Yeah.
Jamal Mosley in Orlando. Oh, is. he's on the hot seat. Like Quinn Snyder in Atlanta, I think as of late, he's turning some heads. But Joe Mazzulla, in terms of from game 0 to game 82, it's Joe Mazzulla, man. I mean, Joe Mazzulla 0-3, 5-7.
Darko Rakovic from from Toronto.
Toronto. He's another one.
He's done a phenomenal job.
He absolutely. But Charles Lee out more recent, but Charles Lee out in Charlotte. So, but specifically staying on Joe Mazzulla here, are you kidding me? Joe Mazzulla? No, this has got to be his year, coach of the year, right? I mean, not only did sportsbooks have this team as a play-in tournament, a lot of experts out there had the Celtics team in the lottery going for AJ and Boozer.
Do you remember when that was a thing? Tank
Rob,
for AJ.
We were seeing graphics with Tatum and AJ and Brown. And now all of a sudden, the Celtics are supposed to win the Eastern Conference. The Celtics should guaranteed be in the NBA Finals this year. Those same experts who are saying that the Celtics should have no problem making it to the NBA Finals this year are the same experts who had this team as a lottery / play-in team. It's incredible. And a lot of that credit goes to Joe Mazzulla. We talked about who gets the credit for the Celtics last week. We brought up Brad Stevens. We brought up Joe Mazzulla, and we brought up Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum. Well, like, stop right there. Joe Mazzulla deserves a lot of this credit that's going on in the locker room, and wouldn't shock me if he's coach of the year.
Yeah, I mean, what does it for me is it's less surprising what Brown's doing, what Pritchard's doing. White's had a little shaky year. His first 3 months were a little shaky, but he's really kicked it in a high gear over the turn of the new year. That's not surprising. We know who those guys are. What's surprising is the production we saw tonight, right? Against Atlanta or last night again. Luka Garza, Ugo Gonzalez, Baylor Shireman, Amari Williams, Ron Harper Jr. These are players who were riding pine just last year. Riding pine. Garza came over from Minnesota. He was bouncing up and down from the G League. Ron Harper is a G League guy. Amari Williams is bouncing up and down from the G League, right? Baylor Shireman didn't see the floor much at all last year, other than that 10-game random stretch out in March. And these are players that Neemias Queta was a 4th string center last year. And these are key contributors to a winning basketball team. To me, that is what does it. It's the fact that he has those guys playing to the level in which they're playing, and those players deserve credit, right? Because again, I do like Mazzulla's quote a lot, because he is right. The players play a huge factor. I mean, you can coach a player as best as you can, but if a player can't go out and produce, he can't produce. But it helps the player a lot when your coach is coaching you up the right way. And Joe has just coached them up a storm, and he's been phenomenal. I mean, no doubt, he's been awesome.
You know, Rob, it's incredible, right? Even the most optimistic people out there, like I had the Celtics at 52 wins. I said that out in August. I didn't think the Celtics are going to be as bad as many had them, but I didn't think they'd be this good. And it's like, well, how can you say that? There are 50 wins with 6 games left, and you said they'd have 52 wins. I didn't think Jaylen Brown was going to be an MVP candidate. I didn't think Joe Mazzulla was going to be one of the top candidates for Coach of the Year. I didn't think the Celtics were going to be 25 games over 500 with Jayson Tatum coming back from an Achilles injury, winning Player of the Week in just his 3rd week back. No way did I think the Celtics were going to be this dominant, this efficient, this effective, this late in the season. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. And it's beyond me. It's beyond. It may be outside of the players, right? Because, I mean, the players are never not going to believe in themselves. Joe Mazzulla called Derek White, hey, happy birthday. People think we're going to suck this year, and I love it. And he hung up. Like, are you kidding me? So, and then I brought it up last week, like, this is easily, and obviously we still have the playoffs to do, so we can get bounced in the first round, and we're not really talking about this year as much. But in terms of regular season, and in terms of living in the moment,
award.
And what we've gone on so far, like this is just ridiculous. Robin, you said it to me earlier, like everything that could have gone right for the Celtics this year has gone right so far. Like if you put everything in hindsight, it is true. Like there's no wrong with that.
Best case scenario for the Celtics this year: Jaylen Brown plays like an MVP. Happened.
Yeah.
Joe Mazzulla starts coaching up a storm. Happened. Peyton Pritchard is one of the best 6-man, if not the best 6-man in the year. Happened. Jayson Tatum comes back sometime in March and returns as Jayson Tatum. Happened. You get a productive starting big man out of Nemias Queta. Happened. Luka Garza turns into a serviceable backup big and your Luke Cornett replacement. Happened. One of the rookies that you drafted turns out and becomes a contributor. Happened. I mean, it's like everything you needed to happen happened. And it's like, what's the catch? What's the catch? There has to be a catch. What's the catch here? Like, I'm saying, like, it's too pretty right now in Boston.
So what, like, do you think there is a catch? Like, I mean, like, it's like, I mean, the voodoo stuff is getting a little ridiculous, man.
Where's the camera? I'm looking around.
We're getting pranked. Ridiculous. I mean, come on, man. Like, did you think the Celtics would be 50-25, 3.5 games out of first place? Did you think that was that, like, with Jayson Tatum back in the lineup, dropping a 26, 9, and 7?
So, like, my thing was that I remember I had a conversation with my brother and my dad. I mean, again, huge basketball family, huge Celtics fans. Honestly, I should give them 2 mics and a headset, and they should join the show. But I remember I had a conversation with them, and I did say, like, listen, if the Celtics stay afloat by March and you get Tatum back and he's even 85% of Jayson Tatum by the playoffs, you can run the table because the East is weak. And I said that, and that wasn't that was the fan in me coming out, right? And at this point of this podcast, you see a lot of the fan version of me on camera, but like, I said it, but to see it's different, Justin. Like, because I said all year long, Tatum's coming back, right? But then I pulled up to TD Garden and I walked through the entrance and I sat down on my seat, right? Section 10, row 14, seat 16. I sat down in that seat.
Bro doxed himself.
Come find me. And Jayson Tatum comes strolling out of the locker room, and I didn't feel real. And the Celtics are the 2 seed, and it doesn't feel so. It's like I said it, but to see it and for it to actually come to fruition, it's a way different thing, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, it's like what I just said earlier. Like, it's like, oh, you see Jayson Tatum's back. And then I went to see him in person the other day. And it's like he comes out of the tunnel and he gets introduced in the starting lineup and he starts dunking and making threes and stealing and making all these plays. And it's like,
Did it feel
it's
weird?
real. Yeah, it
It
did. It
felt
felt
weird.
surreal because
Yeah.
I went to a game uh earlier in the season. I forget what game I went to. Uh, and it's just like we won, but like it felt different, right? Like it felt like a preseason game. You know, in preseason games, you get the most random like rotations and like players that like you never would think are on the Celtics or on the Celtics. And it's just like
Mhm.
that's what it felt like. Like seeing like and this is no disrespect to these players, like it's just what it was. Like seeing Ant Simons on the floor with Jalen Brown and Josh Minot and Luca Garza and Jordan Walsh. Like that was such a weird
It didn't
kind
feel like the
of
Celtics.
no, it didn't. And like it was actually the Portland game, now that I remember. And like Amari Williams started. And it was just like, this is different. This is weird.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we won, sick, but it's Sunday night and it's a 8 o'clock p.m. tip off. Like, I don't know what the hell that's about. But other than that, like it just felt weird. And then going back to the Garden this week, seeing Tatum back and Pritchard ball out, and like it felt familiar and it felt really, really good. Right. Like it felt comfortable.
So, like, the way I think about it, because I agree. You've been to preseason games. I've been to preseason games. You've been to regular season games. I've been to regular season games, playoff games. There's like a feel to it. Like even just when you're sitting down, like I know it might sound weird, but there is like an energy around you. It might sound corny, but like it really does. You can feel the atmosphere. The first half of the season, first 20 games until December and January, there was no feel around the Garden. It was kind of dead. You'd go to games and seats were empty and there wasn't this buzz around the city about them. And then January hit, February hit, and like the buzz, you felt the uptick when you would go to games. You're like, oh, okay, like that feel. It's like, oh, okay, like we're kind of getting that atmosphere back. And then Tatum strolled around. And then the games now you can feel it in the arena where it's like this atmosphere to it that it's back. And like you go to the Celtics playoff game, if you've never been, you haven't experienced it because like it is an experience. Like the Garden is a different feel, and you're right. It feels like it's back. That feeling that you stroll into the Garden, you sit down in your seat, and there's a certain feel, and it's definitely
Mm.
back.
You feel it. I've been to 2 playoff games. Game 4 against the Hawks, and that game went into overtime. Isaiah Thomas hit that corner 3 as the dagger. Like, you
Yep.
feel the
Yep.
momentum switching. You feel that changing. And then game 5 against the Milwaukee Bucks 3 years ago, Celtics were up 15 in that 4th quarter. When I tell you I've never felt tension and just like the energy sucked out of the gym. I've never felt that before. And that night against the Bucks when we blew that 4th quarter lead in game 5, you felt it. I mean, you felt
Right.
it. I'll never forget sitting in my chair 10 minutes after the game, like hands over my head, like astonished at what I just saw. The security guard's like, "We gotta go, we gotta go," and it's like, dude, leave me the f alone before I throw my all beef hot dog at you. We just blew the freaking game. Like, are you kidding me? And
You
then
close down the Garden.
that set us up for a historic Jason Tatum Game 6 performance. But like, you know, the energy, you feel it, and like going back to what we talked about earlier, like that OKC game, like I wasn't there in person, but you feel that the crowd pops, like you feel the momentum when the Celtics tied the game in the second quarter after being down by 13. Like you would have thought the Celtics had won the game with the way the crowd was popped. Like it's incredible, and I'm looking forward to that. And the Celtics clinched home court advantage, so they're at least going to be. They could lose out the next 7 games and still be a top 4 seed. So they got themselves at least home court advantage for round 1.
They did. They did. It's an exciting time. There's stuff to look forward to. The feel in the Garden's back. Before we
Mm.
close out the show, we have a new segment here that we're doing this week, and it's not a permanent segment, but we figured to spice it up a little bit. We post onto Instagram on the Celtics Talk Weekly story and on Celtics Rising stories. Give us your best hot takes, right? We want to hear your Celtics hot takes. We want to know what fans have to say about the Celtics team. We picked out only 2. We didn't get a whole lot. I won't lie. It's kind of tough to get some of these responses like on Instagram. I watch, right? I'll wake up tomorrow and we'll have we'll have about 25 more. I mean, we got a decent amount,
Some
but I only
s-
picked two.
some of you guys type too much. Like it cuts it off. Like some people's are like
Yeah.
half paragraphs, and then it's like I don't even
Yeah.
know what the point. I don't even know what you guys said. Keep it short. Keep it short.
Keep it short. Yes, keep it short and short. Keep it short. That's the whole theme of keep it short. So yeah, I loaded it up and we got a couple more. So maybe I'll pull out a couple more if these go fast. But the first one is by Max Goodling, and this one is a fun one. It says a fully healthy Celtics team this year would beat the 2024 Celtics team championship team in the finals if they matched up with each other.
I don't think so. I actually think that is ridiculous. Is the point of a hot take to be ridiculous?
Yeah,
Is
I mean,
that
it's a
kind
hot
of
take.
like so like
Let's preface their hot takes.
I don't even think that's a hot take. I just think that's like what are we doing here? Like that's rage bait, I think they call it. I think that's what the kids call it. I mean, why how can we compare this team who has not played a single playoff game together? How can we put them against a team who has one of the most dominant championship runs in NBA history?
You know what I will say? Well,
I don't think
first of
we
all, you
can.
can't. And second of all, I will say this year's Celtics team is the type of team to roll in against the 2024 championship team and maybe smoke them out by 20 on a random Tuesday. I won't even say that. This is the type of team to smoke out the 2025 Celtics team.
Oh, I mean,
The year because this team plays with energy. They crash the glass. They have a bunch of big wings. Like
wait,
they play with
dude, that's
energy.
the same thing, just minus FEMA Kailuk. Like
No,
what are you
because
saying, bro?
because I think the 24 team played with a lot
What are you
more
saying?
urgency. No, the 24
Oh,
team played
okay.
with more urgency. And
Well,
so what I'm saying is this year's Celtics team would catch last year's Celtics team off guard on a Tuesday night, right? Versus they're not beating the 2024 Celtics rolled in they didn't take nights off. Right? They never had like those bad like last year, if you remember, there were a couple games. Do you remember that Sixers game on Christmas where they just didn't show up?
I was there. I hated it.
I was there too.
I was there. Oh, that was
Like
so bad. Kelly
they had
Oubre
some
just
games. With December, they were 500. Like those Hawks games last year. Like this Celtics team is the type of team to show up and smoke out last year's team.
Oh,
they're not
didn't
touching
we
the finals.
Weren't we up by like 32 against the Hawks last year and we lost?
Yep.
Yeah,
So
in Atlanta.
I think that's
those
fair.
damn Hawks. We better not see them in the first round. Let's worry about the 2025 Atlanta Hawks before we worry about the Celtics.
Right?
The
So you
2024,
sound like Bickerstaff right now. Let's hop into our next one. This one's by Michael 383832. Just based on matchups, I would rather face the Thunder in the finals than the Spurs. This is again, this is a hot take. Celtics obviously beating the Thunder 1-1 on the season series against them. 1-1 with the Spurs as well, if I'm not mistaken. No, 0-2 against the Spurs.
1-2, yeah.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I mean, matchup based, sure.
I just think Wemby is a nightmare. And it's like you can leave Wemby open like we did a month ago. You can leave him open and make you pay and just No. I agree. I think I'd rather see OKC in the playoffs than Victor Wembanyama. See, that's the thing though, because OKC has more weapons. San Antonio. Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't like how we match up against San Antonio.
I don't love it either. I think, one, we haven't seen it with Tatum in the lineup. There's that.
Well, with Tatum and Brown.
Yeah. Matchup-wise, I'd agree. For strictly matchups, Oklahoma or San Antonio doesn't really have a lot of experience behind their belt. Harrison Barnes has been there before. You got Fox, who has been out of the first round. Wemby hasn't really done it before. So I like that aspect where the Celtics could just kind of they have more pedigree to them. If we're talking matchups, I really don't know if that's a hot take. I think that might just be like a good take.
I think a hot take would be like a team like Denver or Minnesota.
I'd rather, yeah.
Like, can I be honest with you? I think Denver and Minnesota are being way overlooked in the West because we've had such a dominant season from the Thunder in San Antonio, where it's like once you get to the playoffs, it's totally a different ball game. Denver proven to be a playoff team. Minnesota making it to the conference finals. Like, I think Minnesota has a run in them. Like, Ant gets going, and I think there's going to be issue. Julius Randle gets going offensively. Like, I think Minnesota is a dark horse team out west.
I'm so with you on that. If I'm the West, the last team I want to see, I do not want to see a healthy Denver team. And even, Ant's a baller. I mean, even the Lakers, like, here come LA. Like, you got Luka and those guys playing. Like,
That's cute. That's cute. That's cute.
We got, you know what? Now that I refreshed this, we do have a couple more. We have one. I'm not gonna out you. We're not gonna talk about it, but I want you to guess what it is, or like what the topic is. Like, we're not gonna talk about it because we don't.
I know who it is.
Yeah,
it's something about Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, I mean, Jayson Tatum is better as a number one option. We're not talking about that. We're not. I'm not gonna out who said it.
Jaylen Brown is a better number one option.
No, Jayson Tatum is better as the number one option than Jaylen Brown is. We're not even going to talk about that here because we don't talk about that on this podcast.
No, but you should out the person who does it because we're sick and tired of these
Long
people.
40. Shame on you.
Yeah, Matt.
Oh, that's good.
You are what's tearing this Boston media apart. You, sir, are the reason why. Yeah, these people are ridiculous, man.
I know. I mean, I had to. It's too funny not to mention it. This one's coming from Taco J 007. Shout out that username. I love that. See, Taco J 007. See, this is the type of Celtics fans we need right here. So shout out you. It's a fire username. This one says the Celtics are blowing out both the Hornets in the first round, the Knicks in the second round, and then Celtics blowing out both Knicks and Hornets and take the first seed. So they think they're catching Detroit. That's a hot take. Not enough time.
Well, they already blew out the Hornets. We still have to play the Knicks. But I don't know. If Detroit loses tonight, we'll be 4 games back. That's hard to make up. 4 games. And then you really think it's about 5 games back because Celtics don't own the tiebreaker against Detroit. Obviously, Celtics should just keep winning. And if they get the first seed from that, they get the first seed. But my mind is just keep winning. And wherever that gets you, if that keeps you in 2, that keeps you in 2. If that gets you up to 1, it gets you up to 1. Like, either way, as long as the Celtics keep winning and we can enter the postseason healthy, I'm okay with facing whoever. I'm okay with Charlotte in the first round and New York in the second round. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you have enough ground to catch. I don't think that's like a hot take, but like kind of like a that's like a you're cooking on medium high heat right there with that because it's not crazy.
You're at about 350. You're at about 350, where it's like that's probably like that's like the middle line right there. Like 350 is a safe bet.
That's the standard of a hot,
Like, if you don't have baking instructions, 350 is the move.
Yeah, you put it on 350.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, probably not, but I don't hate the take. I mean, that one's Max Shugla needs more playing time from Addy 92660.
Whoa, bro. Who?
Max Shugla. Shugla? Is that not how you say his name? I don't know, dude.
Dude is getting these spelling errors in talk, man. That's crazy. Oh my gosh, bro.
Sugar? I don't know.
Max
Sugar. Sugar. All right. You know what? I don't have all the answers. All right. I don't have all the answers. But guys, we're going to stop it here. Thank you so much for joining us, listening in. We hope you guys are enjoying this return to the podcast as much as we are enjoying doing it for you guys. Again, a long road ahead of us. The Celtics, 7 more games left on the schedule. Update for the podcast schedule. We have 2 more, 3 and 3. We aren't sure what the last week of the season is going to look like. Last time we talked about it, we were a little up in the air. So we'll tell you. You'll know at the end of the next podcast. Again, if you're not following us on social media, go follow us on Twitter or our X. Go follow us on everything, but on X is where we post everything. You'll know and you stay up to date with when episodes are, excuse me, episodes are being recorded and when they're getting posted and all of that, because we're we're running on a 3-game schedule here. After every 3 games we post. Justin's laughing at me, but yes, so if you're not doing that, guys, again, thank you so much for watching, listening, however it is. Again, I'll say it again, if you're not following us on all of our social medias, go do that. And it's always a pleasure to sit down with you, Justin, as I get laughed at for not being able to spell and not being able to talk
Oh
and messing it
man.
up. So it's always a pleasure, guys. Until next time, you know the drill. Go Celtics.